Hello everyone, welcome back to our last run of the event. Don't worry, still lots of time to get those donations in. I am super excited to introduce a race with korlkiller, Everyday Speedrunner, with Tasmanian, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 2, Push Rescue. Take it away.
Alright, would you like me to count down?
You can go ahead.
Alright.
I will get ready on the new game screen.
Alright. Time's gonna begin in 3, 2... Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Time's gonna begin in 3, 2, 1, now. And here we go.
Alright, we're off, yes. So yes, this is Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 2. You maybe know Ty the Tasmanian Tiger 1 from that speed documentary that was made.
Yep.
This is part 2. It's a, well, completely different game.
Yeah, it's the one that's not talked about as much.
Yes, but yeah, for me this game is a childhood favorite. Right now we are in the intro cutscene, and we're trying to get as much opals as we can.
Yes.
Or at least a certain amount by the end. How many are you going for? 1700 or 21?
I usually just stick to about 1500.
That's the last of the.
Alright, I try to. I always overshoot it by quite a lot. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah. The minimum amount you can do, I believe, is 1100. But
Ooh, when you're getting it tight on that.
Yeah, but that's only if you're doing like a very inca skip at the very beginning.
Yeah, did you get intro skip?
No, I didn't. I didn't even try.
I didn't even attempt it.
Yeah, neither did I. For those who don't know, intro skip is basically a glitch that allows us to skip having to go through this little fight we're going through here, where we can basically just walk.
Not too far to the old barracks now.
Basically walk back the way we came after we load this one area, and then we can basically bypass that entire firewall and the ship in the way there. And it saves about 20 to 25 seconds depending on how well we do it. But now we actually have the first main difference in this game compared to the first Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, that being the bunyips. You can basically just control these like any robot that anybody hops into in any like Gundam anime you've seen.
We have to keep moving. The old barracks are just ahead.
Come on, Blossom. We have to make.
Yeah, that's about right. These things can punch, they can slam the ground, they can get stuck on enemies. Thank you very much, game.
Yeah, I was gonna mention their collision is very, very off.
Yeah, and throughout the game we're trying to skip as many cutscenes as possible. You might not even see them if we mesh correctly. I'm doing really well on opals.
I don't know exactly what account I'm at, but I know that leaving the first section I was where I'd like to be.
I'm starting the turret section right now, and I'm on 23.
Oh, okay. I've finished. Like I'm already in the turret section on about the second phase, I think. Are you a mouse user for the turret, by the way?
No, I know it's technically faster to use mouse, but I just always use controller, so that's what I'm a stick to.
I personally play this game roughly half and half because there are some times where mouse is faster than aiming with a controller, and so I just like play sections after mouse sections on keyboard and mouse. But like this section up here until basically the end of this little intro sequence here, I play on mouse and keyboard. This guy will just die already. We're supposed to be trying to hit headshots with these explosives. As you can see, that did not go well for me, but all got out of there relatively quickly, so I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, the rest of this intro is basically just chasing this lizard, or not. Is she a dinosaur? I don't look at her enough.
Yeah, I always thought she was a giraffe, but I'm not certain anymore.
She looks like a... maybe...
Her name is Fluffy.
Yeah, her name's Fluffy, and I used to think for the longest time until I played this game that she was a monkey, but she was the person that's piloting that monkey robot from the first game.
Yeah, and as you can see right now, she is very bad anti-ass, not a good character, D tier at best.
Yep.
We can just jump and hit her,
yeah,
and she can't block us. And let's finish off with a slam for style points. And now we're into the world. Some little quick menuing to get rid of a pop-up message. Yeah, this is basically, I would say, the only time, real-time indie run where we have to worry about our opals during this first section.
Yeah. Basically, any time after this first section, we basically need to have 5,000 opals before we fight the first boss of the game, or at the very least, like, you know, at least 1,450, because we can just get more opals if we absolutely need to in Burramudgee Town. But basically, for every mission you complete in this game, you get like 500 opals, and we also just can get a bunch of opals in different locations, because unlike the first Thai game, opals are used as a currency instead of an actual collectible.
Yeah, that's one of the big differences of these games compared to Thai 1 and Thai 2. And of course, the heavy emphasis in this game on...
There we go.
Oh, Sewer Skip is not treating me nicely.
Oh, were you trying to learn that just earlier today or something?
No, I just missed a jump.
Oh, okay, yeah. I missed the jump a few times, so I'm not looking the best right now, but to be fair, I don't even have to skip for my PV yet, so...
Yes, Sewer Skip, as you can see right now, we're out of bounds. We're gonna go up this wall, and for some reason, these walls can deload.
Yeah, it depends on how far away your camera is, so that's why you saw me move my camera downward, further underground, and then we could just jump through the floor, basically, to get back in bounds. But Sewer Skip basically does not save that much time. It only really saves time if you get that first jump, first try, onto that little tree to get out of bounds in the graveyard area, but because it took both of us a few seconds to get it, then it probably only saved a couple of seconds at best. But because Thai's swimming speed is much, much faster than his generic walking speed, then it's just quicker to go out of bounds and then swim through this like water plane underneath the level, and then just get back in bounds near the mission.
And as to my knowledge, the sewer walls are the only walls we can deload out of bounds.
Yeah.
For some reason, they count as objects and not as like environmental collision.
Yeah. I have no idea.
This game is weird. It's a game from 2004 originally.
I thought Thai 2 was 03 and then Thai 3 was 04.
I thought it was 03 and 04 and 05, but don't count. Don't quote me on that.
I know Thai 1 for sure is 2002, but like Thai 2, I think Thai 2 might be 2004 because it being the second game of the series, they probably wanted to see how long it would take for the game to get popular and if it'd be worth even making more sequels, which they seemed to think it did, so we thank them for that.
Yeah, this game series was in a weird spot back in the day. It was kind of not competing against the likes of Mario and Crash Bandicoot and Spyro and Sonic.
Yeah.
But that's why not a whole lot of people know about these games.
Yeah, I think there's only about, in total, only about 2 million sales in the entire series worldwide.
The original CD releases, I assume?
I believe so, yeah. Thai 1, Thai 2,
Because
and Thai 3.
For some reason, the entire community banded together and like, oh, this game, we need it on Steam. We want it on PC.
I actually think that Chrome put it out on Steam just to try and make it more popular, because I don't think they really needed to change that much, because the first version on Steam was very much like the old consoles, nothing like the new ones. But so I should probably explain what we're actually doing. Basically, this whole game revolves around us doing missions. They can be any type of missions. Currently, this one mission that I'm doing is saving this like couple, creating a movie or something from ninjas that are attacking them. And,
yeah, we don't know it's a movie yet.
Yeah. I think later in the game it like gets more because this is not the first time we'll be doing this. We do this more.
3 times total.
I thought it was 4. Maybe I'm like just misremembering, but these ninjas are kind of finicky. They're like if they're running like that, they can kind of mess with you. But if you either get a straight line towards them or you can just fight them. Unlike this one here, there he is. Alright, there we go. That's the last one for me.
We are neck and neck right now.
Oh, really? I'm not surprised, really, because like this game, if you have never seen a Thai 2 speedrun, but you have seen a Thai 1 speedrun, you'll notice that this game seems a lot less glitch heavy than Thai 1, which that's true. But in Thai 1,
as of right now.
Yeah, I honestly don't know if there could be much more glitches found in this game, unless there's like some weird memory manipulation to allow it to have all the missions unlocked at the beginning of the game and actually access them. So we just need to go through like all the missions and basically like one giant loop around the whole map of I can't remember what the map is called, but it's Southern Rivers. There we go. Yeah.
I wanted to say Australia.
I mean, yeah.
Because yeah,
technically,
this game is loosely based on Australia. The Crow Studios is an Australian company.
Yep.
And all the voice acting that we are mainly skipping is all with an Australian accent and Australian slang and you name it. It's charming.
Yeah, very charming. One of my life goals is to go to Australia, move there for about 6 months just to pick up the accent and come back to the United States and just speak Australian for like 6 weeks or something until it wears off just to mess with people.
That sounds like a good life goal.
Yep. But also I'll do other things in Australia like, I don't know.
Australia seems like a lovely country to be. Just a bit too far, a bit too far south and hot. You know.
Oh, I'd for sure go to Australia sometime during their winter, just because of how like much. Well, then again, in their winter it's probably not better than their summers because their summers are about very hot because of hemisphere stuff. But then their winter, since they're very far south, then it might be even colder than, you know, a European or American winter, you know?
I'm no climate experts or weather experts, so I can't comment on that.
Yeah.
All I know about that country is most of it is desert and uninhabitable, and everything wants to kill you.
Yeah.
And something we haven't spoken about yet, but might be useful to say, is, at least for me, I uncapped the frame rate. I turned off VSync through a third-party software, which is allowed. It improves load times and it messes with the physics.
Yeah. What type of graphics card do you have? Because all I need to do is just go into the, like...
NVIDIA.
Okay. So,
It is a third-party software, technically.
Yeah, I suppose, but... strangely enough, all the Thai games, not just this one, but basically all the Thai games, their loading screens don't really rely on how fast your computer hardware is. It depends on your frame rate. So currently, I have my frame rate maxed at 1000 FPS, although the highest I've seen ever in this game for me is only about 400. But it's still...
Same, 400-500 max.
Yeah.
Not counting the main menu.
That was a very weird...
And I had a really good explosive cargo.
I had a relatively good one. I didn't get many boosts, but...
I got not a whole lot of boost, but I got very good boost and very steady boost. Got a gold on that.
Yeah, we should probably actually start explaining more about the game instead of just like the country it's from. So, there are a few missions like that where basically we control a helicopter and we just need to basically deliver things. Or there's one where there's a giant forest fire and we need to like dump water on all of the fires and
That's
stuff.
the last mission we do.
Yeah, that's the only reason I remember, because just earlier today I did a no reset run just to like prepare again, and I just remembered that one at the top of my head at first. But
I didn't get to jump to Patchy.
I got it relatively decent, but so here's our first boss here. It's Patchy, and this boss kind of sucks because like I sometimes...
It's RNG.
Yeah, basically just like
It's
any Thai boss after the first one, it's all RNG. Let me tell you, like
Buster you can quite easily manipulate, I'd say.
Oh yeah, but like this is one of the many bosses, not all of them I should say, that require a lot of RNG. But let me just say firsthand, going from the first Thai game to the second one made me really understand why more people talk about the first game and enjoy it. But while this game is like still a good game, it's just not the first one, I suppose, you know? There's many things that I personally am biased towards about it, mainly because I grew up with the first one. YourEverydaySpeedrunner, you said you grew up with the second one, right? So
Yeah, I got the second one first as a birthday gift. And when you're like younger and get a birthday gift, you know, you don't really have control over, oh, I want to get part 1 first.
Yeah.
Especially in a time and day where you just walked into a physical store and just looked around, just browsed around.
Yeah, I remember my first copy of Thai I got from a video store in my very small town that I live in, and like it was, you know, very interesting. I remember being about 3 years old when my grandfather just took me to the video store to pick out.
God, the good old days of the video store.
Mm-hmm.
I can barely remember them.
But it was like a family-owned video store, so you know that I would have paid less if I had bought in the game at, you know, any other store basically, because.
All right. In the meantime, I just bought. I don't know if you're there yet, but I've just bought the thermo punip. Punip is basically a mech suit.
Yep.
And that's what we needed 5,000 opals for.
Yeah, but now our opal count is relatively good for that.
Yeah, now we're pretty safe. In the meantime, we're gonna do some Uber Eats because we need money.
Yeah. And also because it unlocks the next boss easier.
That's right. We already need to go to that part of the map, so might as well, you know, drop off some food.
Yep. This is probably, I believe, the longest, I guess, delivery mission. But
it's a whole lot longer than sunscreen delivery.
Yeah, sunscreen delivery is literally about 25 seconds or 35 seconds, I think. But
at best.
Yeah, this delivery here, we just need to take to the beach, basically on the other corner of the map, and from there we'll just do another loop around. And we go to the beach, I think 3 times. We like get out of our little buggy here and get about
3 times.
Yeah. First one being this time that we're going to go deliver the food. Also, I seem to always forget that I need to deliver the food to the workers and not to Rex, because I'm so used to going.
Oh, thank you for saying that. I'm not the only one.
Yep. Yeah. I always...
Now that you say it, I know that I know how to hold the left again.
Yeah. For some reason, I just never do when I do like no reset runs and stuff. But like, it's just very strange. But yeah, that one took about minute 15 seconds, minute 17. Oops. But that's the longest one of the run, I believe. Another one that we're doing relatively soon is only about 35, the sunscreen delivery, and then we have a TNT delivery, which is...
Yeah, I want to say maybe that TNT delivery is a little bit longer.
I don't think so, really. I don't know, it might be, but whoa, I got a weird little bump there.
Let's not move ahead of ourselves. But yeah, he said he got a weird bump.
Yeah, this game is...
That's because of unlocked frame rates.
Yeah.
It's a nice side effect.
Is it actually?
Before I unlocked the frame rate, I never had those weird bumps. It might also been just pure luck.
It probably was, because I just got another one. I mean, it might be the frame rate, because I was...
Sometimes those bumps help you, actually. You move faster.
Yeah. This game's driving physics is... it's
non-existent.
It's not Need for Speed, GTA, or any of those other driving games. It's nothing like that.
Although, if you think about it, this game does play kind of like GTA. We drive around, do missions, and we have quite a free choice of what missions we do.
Yeah, until, I mean, at least once you unlock them on the map, you know, but... Which, I mean, also that's a thing in GTA, but... Anyway, so...
And I got Canopy Caper skip.
Oh, really?
AKA that one jump off the tree stump.
Yep. This, like, Frillneck Forest section is probably, one of my worst sections to run, mainly because of that.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, it's my favorite, but if I do it well, but... Oh, okay, why am I, like, not grabbing that? Okay.
Oh, you're stuck on that?
I just haven't been grabbing it for some reason.
Sometimes that happens.
Okay, there we go, I'll grab it.
Game giveth, game taketh away.
Okay. Okay. This is
Alright.
very scuffed. Where am I at? Okay, there we are.
Alright, I'm gonna go for a little bit of optimization here, which is driving up the hill.
Yes.
And I messed it up. I got too far left, so I'm just gonna take the loss and just take the take the S-turn. Or the U-bend, or whatever you want to call it.
I call it S-turn, or just not going up the hill.
I don't have a driver's license, so...
Oh, I thought we were talking about, like, in the game. No.
Yeah, as well, but I don't know what you want to call those in
game.
general.
In game, I call it not going up the hill. In real life, I call it an S-turn.
Not
like-
going up that hill, not singing the song.
I feel like many sections of this game actually would not be, you know, verified or like, you know, I guess you'd call, I guess verified. Like, I feel like the Department of Transportation would not approve of most of the road works in this game. Just
Say so, no.
personally speaking.
Alright, I'm on to Dennis Freeway right now. Dennis is is a frog. We did the food delivery for him. Now we gotta fix his highway for some reason.
Yeah. His workers got sick from the food we gave him, so now they're not here.
Oh yeah, his food, it was purely organic and all vegan, if I remember that cutscene correctly.
I think so, yeah.
This game was ahead of its time.
While you're fixing up the bridges, it would not be a good time for me to read some things?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. First, I want to remind everyone that Indiethon Fall Follies is raising money for Caldwell children. They provide practical and emotional support for disabled children and their families across the United Kingdom. With your support, they provide services and equipment to children who need them, including powered wheelchairs, therapy tricycles, and car seats, as well as sports equipment for talented disabled athletes. They have also started their own brand new, first-of-its-kind, in-house autism service from Caldwell International Children's Centre in Staffordshire, UK. Visit their website at www.caldwellchildren.org to learn more about their amazing programs.
Sounds amazing. Now everyone is reminded where all the money goes to. Speaking of money, do we have any donations?
We do not at this time, but we do have some fantastic prizes. For a donation of $15, you can get entered in to win the Couch Co-op pack, which includes a copy of Overcooked All You Can Eat and Rogue Heroes Runes of Tazos.
Overcooked, that's a fun and chaotic game.
Yeah, I've
Do
seen
recommend.
about Overcooked, but I've heard it's interesting.
It's perfect for couch co-op. In the meantime, I'm at the most annoying helicopter mission.
Oh, yeah, the
Croc stockpile.
Yep. The crocodiles
Because-
are very like inconsistent with their hitboxes and stuff. There will be times where I'll try to drop them and they'll just not fall. But
Yeah, they drop automatically when we are hovering above the platform.
Yep.
But because the platform is also moving, the hitbox is constantly moving.
Okay,
The music is amazing.
yeah, I absolutely love royalty-free music.
The original name of the song, if I remember correctly, is called Flight of the Valkyrie. It's a pretty old classical music piece.
Yeah, I've
But
seen
this is
different
a
names
cover.
for it, like mostly Ride of the Valkyries or Fly, stuff like that. But
Something of the Valkyries.
yeah. Although I cannot seem to find this specific cover on YouTube anywhere. I might just want to like check the soundtrack or something of this game.
Yeah, I would say so. Maybe look up just Croc Stockpile OST to tie to.
Yeah. Yeah, that there what I just did was an example of the crocodiles being kind of bad. But that one should have went on, but it just didn't.
Ooh, I got a pretty good one.
Yeah, I forgot to like turn on my splits before the run, so I have no idea where I am against my PB. I just know what my NPB time is, so I'll just check that and see how much like I've gained and lost in places. If I like just happen to PB, I don't think I actually will though, because this is already I can already feel it's about like a minute or so behind.
And for those wondering, we were earlier talking about the quickest delivery mission. I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah. No,
So I'm gonna drive up to this female platypus. I missed the... Okay. We got 5 minutes to do this. We gotta deliver some sunscreen to a husband who works on the beach. Let's just all enjoy this ride and look at the timer.
Yep. The this would be a good time to not have to go to the bathroom or get a drink or anything, because you'll miss this amazing mission.
This
If you
is
miss his, then you'll
truly
here in about 20
breathtaking. My heart is beating in my chest.
Okay, maybe closer to 45 seconds, because I've been getting some weird bounces.
Oh, I for some reason I didn't want to get out of the buggy. So, but still, we had 5 minutes to do that. I did it in 40 seconds.
Sounds about right. I personally like going for 35, so I'll see how much I mess up this thing. If my luck stays the same as it has been, I'm probably going to lose about 10 seconds this drive just because of the like uncontrollable bounces.
I lost about 12 seconds because for some reason Ty did not want to get out of the buggy.
Ah.
So I overshot it twice.
Ah, that one.
In the meantime,
Okay,
an act of terrorism. An oil rig has been blown up by the big bad guy, who we haven't even talked about yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the intro mission, we stopped a prison break. At least we attempted to. We failed. And the big bad guy, Boss Cass, wants to do something. I guess take over the world or something.
I think he just wants to take over the world. Yeah.
Good old classic villains, just take over the world.
Well, more so, I think he wants to either enslave or just completely get rid of all warm-blooded creatures. The first game has more lore on it, where he's
Which is funny because he is a warm-blooded creature. He's a cassowary.
Yeah.
Fun fact: cassowaries lay green eggs.
I did not know that actually.
Well, the more you know. And it's not like a muddy brownish green. No, it's bright grass green.
Oh, that just sounds amazing to look at.
Just look it up when we're done.
I'll go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Somewhere on the internet, I cannot remember where, but somewhere there's a picture of me, taking a selfie with a picture of me taking a selfie, not a selfie of me, but me holding my phone, like as if I'm taking a selfie with a cassowary sculpture in a museum somewhere. My father posted it to his Facebook at one point. I don't know, like, I'm not gonna give out any information, but I remember just.
Please do share that picture if you find it. It sounds hilarious.
I'll find it, but like yeah, for now I'm just gonna leave it as it is.
Yeah. In the meantime, oil rig is one of the heaviest platforming sections of the game. We can quite easily lose a lot of time here.
Yeah.
To missing jumps.
Yeah. Oil rig is one of those sections where also, like, I often just get confused in the order of which to do things, or I forget that there's buttons that need to be pressed. Oil rig is one of those things where I barely get to it in runs, so I almost never, like, get any practice in it, because I'm one of those people who just don't practice their runs until I'm very, very good. Yeah,
And one of the things we can do in this level is, let's see if we can get it first try. Yeah, hit buttons early.
Do you ever get the button glitch, or the button HUD glitch, where you hit the final button?
Every single run.
Yeah, I almost always get that, but a few times I don't. So we'll see if this will be the one time where I do get it, and the one time where
Come on.
it doesn't get it.
In the meantime, I was fighting with one of those, well, not a button, but things you have to shoot water at.
Yeah, those ones are very finicky. I'm not a huge fan of those.
Especially because the water physics in this game is something else.
So we seem to be only about 20 or 30 seconds apart, and we're already like 30 or 28 minutes into the run. So that's like, this is already seeming like a very close race.
It is. We went neck to neck for a very long time. I think that jump you missed in Canopy Capers was.
Yeah, that was the big one.
In the meantime, I'm up to Buster. Let's see if I can manipulate him. For what manipulation strat are you trying to use?
I don't know the ones. I just wait for him. I just like walk up to him and then jump away from him when he's about to hit me. That's what I do.
That's what I do as well, and I think it's the fastest as well. You can also let him walk 8 spaces. That's a very safe thing, because if he hits you, he waits for you to get back up before he hits you again.
I forget what I'm doing. I would just see a door open up and then I immediately have to go to it.
But yeah, this Buster fight is about twice as long as it should be.
Yep.
the first few hits go relatively easy because he gets straight back up. But as you can see right now, all the individual robots are now chasing me before they get back together, form Buster again, rinse and repeat. So yeah, if there's anything to share, please do.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't have any donations yet, but chat, we have just under an hour left this run. I'm wondering, can we make it $1,150? We are $33 away from that. Can we make that, chat? There are lots.
I believe we can make that.
We can do it. I believe in it. We have a ton of cool prizes. I'm going to highlight one more prize quickly. The Speedrunner Starter Pack for a $10 donation includes Greek Memories of Zero and Sura Megbot, both two super cool games, casually and speedrun. All sorts of prizes there. And it's all going to a fantastic cause. So, yeah, let's see. Let's see if we can make it to another $33. Make it a nice round number.
Although I thought $1,111 was also a very nice number.
That was a very nice number, but we had to donate to pet the bunnies, so let's get further.
Pet all the bunnies. I wish we could pet like some bunnies in this game.
I don't think there's any,
Nah, I'm thinking real hard, but there's nothing we can really do
I mean,
to...
like, I think there's rabbits in the first one, but they're not like interactable. I think they're literally just, I guess 2D models that just like have little animation cycles they go through and stuff. It's like you're not supposed to think about it. It's like, oh, look at that, there's animals on the ground, you know, stuff like that.
Oh, we have a donation that has come in.
Oh.
We have a $15 donation from Code Gorilla saying, Indiethon Fall Follies has been an absolute blast, and this race is a great way to cap things off. Thanks for having me as a runner and as a volunteer. Thank you so much, Code Gorilla, for all your work. And yeah, this is an absolute blast, a great way to end the marathon.
Yeah, it's an honor to be chosen to be the last runner, or one of the two last runners of this marathon.
Yep.
The first Indiethon I got to start, now I got to finish one.
And chat, that puts us $18 away from $1,150.
I'm one hit away from defeating Buster. Now you all know why I hate this boss fight.
Yeah, these little bug things, I think they're just little mini robots. They're just very strange. I've never been a fan of them.
Yeah, the small robots that form one, it's just, yeah, awkward. And now I have to think real quick, what do I have to buy again? The Frost Rang and the sub, yeah.
Funny story, the first time I played this game the first time I played the first Thai game, like I said earlier, was when I was like 3 years old. The first time I played this one was when I was about 16, when I bought it on Steam. Actually, like a couple of years after I bought it on Steam, but I just never got on to playing it until I decided to learn the speedrun. And when I casually played this game, this was a boss that I actually could not do without like a guide. I had no idea what was going on. Like I was so used to just like, you know, other things. Oh, got the wrong fit. Yeah, one thing that I've been doing is very much focusing on my health, trying to get as much health as I can, because if we die at any time on this boss fight, then not only do we just respawn here, but we also need to like redo about like anywhere from like 2 to 3 hits, I believe. Alright, that's Buster done for me.
Buster. But this game is quite unforgiving when it comes to boss fights.
Yeah. Fluffy, who we're going to be fighting after this next little act of the game. Like, if you fall down, because it's basically taking place on a bunch of towers, if you fall down, then you can just slowly make your way back up, and it's very easy to fall off these towers and stuff. Off these towers and platforms.
G'day, son.
You might as well start reading a book at that point.
Yep. Or just reset, like I did about 20 times in a row one day.
Bye-bye.
Oh, that sounds painful. Do you want to talk about it?
Nah.
In the meantime, I'm gonna rescue some sheep. There was a flood. The sheep got stuck on their little islands. So we gotta help him.
Greetings, my unit.
And for these helicopter levels that we have to pick something up and drop it off, don't know about you, but I always try to get as straight of a line to everything as possible, which sounds logical, but also try to keep as much speed as we can.
Yeah, I try to do that as well. One thing you might have just noticed me doing there is this game has a untoggleable rain wheel. So basically, if you press the action button, which is basically the button to skip cutscenes or start interacting with people, then you're gonna be starting to use the rain wheel, which is quite annoying if you're spamming trying to get through a cutscene really quickly. In the first game, at least, in the newer versions, they gave you the opportunity to turn it off, but I think this game is the only way you can use your different boomerangs. Yeah, that's another thing that we haven't really talked about. This game heavily relies on boomerangs being the main weapon. Hence another...
Yeah, it does. We up until we just bought the Frosty ranks, we were using the normal boomerangs, but a plethora of boomerangs in this game. Sadly, many of them we do not get to see in this run.
Yes.
We bought a Frosty rank for a grand total of 1 mission.
I thought it was 2.
What's just the second one you use it for?
I think it's used a bit in the Never Never, in like the final act. Thought it was used to freeze a few like lava platforms and stuff.
You don't use the thermal unip there and just swim through the lava?
Oh no, I do that. I'm trying to think of. Oh, I'm thinking of sulfur rocks. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's the only place we use it, right? Anyway, we'll see. We'll see who's right.
Don't quote me on anything in this game. I just like started playing this game again, not even a week ago, so my mind with it is not existent.
I don't run this game very often as well, just whenever I feel like it.
I mean, you're the everyday speedrunner, so you probably have other games to speedrun.
I speedrun. I do other things. I have a job as well.
Ah.
Which I sneakily watched Indiethon at today.
Oh, really? See, I
had to do something.
Indiethon, like, on my own.
But anyway, right now I'm coming up to the beach. If you look at the minimap, there are no missions there yet. But we can still get them.
Don't the missions show up once you actually enter the beach?
I'm looking at the minimap right now, and there are no.
Ah.
The stars on the minimap allocate missions. The colored stars are important missions, I believe. The colored in gray stars are something else.
I believe that the gray stars are actually either the little racing flags are the race ones, are the race missions.
Yeah, the gray outlined ones are missions we have already done.
Yes.
But now we get to use the sub-unit, which works exactly the same as the helicopter.
Just underwater.
Yeah, for some reason we can shoot exploding boomerangs. Don't ask me how we throw them.
I think they just like have a launcher or something on it.
I've never taken a good look at the model before, because you can not really view the model easily in game. Yeah, and what we're trying to do right now is the platypus we delivered sunscreen to. He went swimming and got stuck because of sharks. So we have to go pick him up. And we have to go through this quote-unquote maze, which is basically just a snaking path between some rocks. With an endless sea of sharks spawning.
Yeah, the sharks in this game and basically any of the Thai games aren't really that bad. All they do is just like they bump into you sometimes.
Yeah, which can be annoying. So as soon as you see one, I just mash the boomerang button, and we're good.
I believe in the sub button if you're actually completely invincible to them. I think
you're not invincible. No.
Ah.
You can still be bitten by them, but it's just unlikely with how their AI works. And if you guys remember the level where we had the helicopter and tried to fix a road, now we got to do the same underwater with an oil pipeline. This game gets weirder, trust me.
I got a little boost from one of the eels that come out. In this little maze, or quote maze mission, there are certain paths you can take where these eels that come out and just try to attack you, until they actually start attacking you, you can actually just use them. They can just like sort of nudge you along, saving a little bit of time. The world record for this game, I believe, does that with every single one. They like mastered exactly like.
Yeah, that guy is insane. Squid, was it right?
Yep. Huge shout out to Inspection Squid, one of the.
Yeah, huge shout out to him.
Yep. He's the one who you want to ask questions about this game to, if you are interested.
Oh yeah, I guess we haven't talked about it, but these vehicles, like the sub-unit and the helicopter, they have a fuel gauge.
We just never need a refill because we're so fast.
We never really need to refill, and we don't hold the jump button, or whatever your jump button may be. We just, at least I do, just tap it. That keeps us up in the air and uses way less fuel.
I just hold it the entire time, mainly because
You're safe on that as well.
Yeah. This is the one mission of this game that I don't know exactly how to do properly. Like, I know the proper orders for the highway mission and the sheeps and the...
I never learned the I never looked up a proper order. I just did what I thought was fast.
I just, like, go for whichever mark or whichever, like, icon seems the most opaque. Because the more opaque and the more outlined they are is the closer they are, the bigger and stuff like that, so...
Yeah. In the meantime, story-wise, I do not remember who these people are. I think it was Ty's sister and her either boyfriend or husband. They have a tourist attraction, but it's broken. So what we gotta do is fix that by shooting some buttons.
I mean, Ty's the one with the boomerang, so like they can't just like, you know, take a rock and chuck it at it, you know?
Well, we do have exploding boomerangs.
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't even know that Ty had a sister until now, so I'm thinking...
I do think it is her sister. It is his sister, but it's been a while since I listened to the cutscenes.
Yep. I know that Shazza has a sister. She appears in the third game, and I think as just like a walking NPC in Buramaji, so... I haven't not played the third game nearly as much as I probably should have. The third game, like, is very much so like this game in terms of just comparing it to the first Thai game. Like, compared to the first Thai game, both of these games are like completely different games. You could take any other 3D platformer character and put it in Thai 2, replace the boomerangs with, like, I don't know, like...
Lasers.
Yes, lasers or something, and you'd have, you know, a 3D platformer that'd probably actually just sell better.
That does sound like a nice game. Any game that's listening,
Yep.
and a giant ant with lasers.
Yes.
In the meantime, I'm almost done hitting all the buttons. I got a little bit of skip over the fence, so we don't have to walk all the way around it. And believe it or not, those buttons are actually quite finicky to hit.
Yeah. Buttons in this game are one of the very few things that you cannot walk on with your boomerangs on, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, so sometimes the boomerang, even if you're standing right in front of it, Ty decides to throw the boomerang at an enemy that's standing 10 feet away. So in that case, you can always just bite the button. But that's pretty slow.
You can actually bite the buttons? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can, but you have to stand like right up to them and bite in their direction. Ty doesn't lock onto it like he does with enemies.
Ah.
Yeah, it's a shame. So now we skip the mission we see over here. We used to do that one. I forgot the name of it. But we had that was basically a mission that technically is faster to do, but it's very RNG dependent.
Oh, you're talking about the other like crocodile mission?
The other crocodile missions where we have to hold them,
Yep.
let them back into that pen.
Yeah, that one is technically faster, but like you said, just never, probably never gonna be used in any percent.
Until the run gets so insane that we actually do need to gamble on that time save.
Yeah, for those wondering, the world record for this category is 1 hour and 7 minutes, roughly. You're gonna see that our times are gonna be maybe within 10 minutes of that, or 15, I should say. I put my time estimate being 1 hour 25, just because I did a no reset run out of nowhere one day, and that's around the time I got.
Yeah, that's a fair estimate. The last time I ran this game at a marathon was last month, and I got a 1:15.
Oh, really?
A mid 1:15.
See,
My PB is a 1:15 flat.
yeah, my PB is about a 117-ish.
That's not too bad for 1 week. That's not bad for 1 week, so you can be proud of that.
So are we about halfway through the run then?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Time
Halfway
wise.
through the run? Alright. Then is now a good time for me to remind chat of a couple things?
Yep.
Of course.
Alright. Chat, as you just heard, we're about halfway through this run, which means there is not a lot of time left to donate. If you want to get in on some of the amazing prizes we have, I'm going to highlight our grand prize, which for a minimum donation of $25, if you want a donation, it could be over the course of the entire marathon, you can get entered to win a copy of Marauders, Serpent Rouge, Sweet Transit, Sunday Gold, and Thymesia, courtesy of Team 17, who Indiethon Fall Follies is supported by. They recently announced the continuation of Moving Out franchise. Moving Out 2 will be coming to PC, Xbox Series XS, Sony PlayStation 4, Sony PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch in 2023, and will feature online play. And just a reminder that all of our money is going to Caldwell Children. They provide practical and emotional support for disabled children and their families across the United Kingdom. With your support, they provide services and equipment to children who need them, including powered wheelchairs, therapy tricycles, and car seats, as well as sports equipment for talented disabled athletes. They've also started their own brand new, first-of-its-kind in-house autism service from Caldwell International Children's Centre in Staffordshire, UK. Visit their website at www.caldwellchildren.org to learn more about their amazing programs. Like I said, chat, time is coming up quite soon, so if you want to get in on some of the amazing prizes, now is your last chance is coming up.
Yeah, get them in. Get those donations in. Win those prizes. Yeah, right now I'm up to a mission that got kind of screwed over while porting this game. We're chased by the beetle.
Oh, the beetle,
yeah. Yeah, the beetle mission was supposed to be a Crash Bandicoot-esque mission where we run away from something while the camera's in front of us, but now the camera's behind us, so we can see where we're going, and constantly jumping here is faster, so we can quite easily skip, dodge all these obstacles. I just bumped into one as I said it. That's karma.
How do people even do that mission in the old game? I would not have been able to.
Pure luck. Don't forget to talk to this guy. Yeah, this is one of the, if not the only missions where we have to talk to the person after the mission again. And now coming up the mission where we needed the Frosty Ranks for. I haven't showed it yet, but Frosty Ranks, they make ice. They can freeze targets. I prefer the normal boomerangs for everyday gameplay. But what they can do is cool down hot things. So yeah, right now we get basically someone shouting for help. These red rocks that we turned blue, that's hot things we're cooling down. Up here. Just have to platform around this, making sure to not fall into the lava. If we do, we get shot back Mario style to the previous platform. Alright. And let's see. Big jump. Alright. Almost fell into the lava again. But the thing, the person, whatever you want to call it, that we helped was an alien.
Oh, you do the grinder mission first and not the alien mission first?
I did beetle first.
I always do the lava mission first and then the beetle.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's always the difference is maybe like a second.
If that, because we still have to walk all the way back anyway from beetle.
Yeah. I just finished my lava mission. I still haven't done the beat yet though, so I'm still like just before a good minute and a half behind you still. Regardless, we have Fluffy next, right?
We have Fluffy next. Yeah, I can make one mistake and he's in the lead again.
That is basically how anything in this entire franchise goes, or even just RNG for that matter.
Luckily, this game isn't too RNG heavy, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got patchy. Yeah, we got patchy, but still, you can still manipulate patchy to a certain degree.
Yes. I just do what I know makes the split go by the fastest. I don't know if that's any manipulation or not. I should probably, like, if I ever get serious about this game and try to go for a record or something, I should probably attempt to learn, like, the technical side of every boss manipulation or stuff like that. But I just do what, like, works for me, and what I saw happen, like, a year and a half ago when I was learning this. Like, I doing the, you know, modern strats from a year and a half ago.
In the meantime, I'm up to patchy. As you can see, we're up on these platforms, we're surrounded by water. If you fall into the water, we have to swim to another platform. And I'm gonna wait here and give Fluffy a little hit, just for a bit of safety. As you can see, we did do damage to her, but it won't matter much, because these robots that are surrounding her, they heal her. As you can see right now with the lasers.
For some reason,
yeah?
For some reason, you cannot jump over that little pit at the very end of the grinding section.
No, you can't. If you hit the loading zone while jumping, you soft lock.
Okay, thank God, because I like died there already, and I didn't want to like have a soft lock plus a.
Oh, that would be very, very bad if you soft locked.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I'm happy we did though, like way at the beginning of the run, only about a minute in, was one property of this game is if you kill enemies multiple times in a row, then you get a little combo, and you can get up to 20 times the amount of, you know, opals for killing each enemy. So for example, you kill an enemy, they drop 5 opals, and you have a 4 times combo, then you get 20 opals from just collecting those 5 opals. If at any point during that first little section of the run, if him and I either lost our 20 opal or 20 combo, then we would have needed to reroute our opals entirely.
Yeah, there are, in the first section, there's a character we can talk to. He's called Steve. He also tells extremely interesting stories, let's put it like that. And he basically gives us 1,000 opals just for listening to his story. And no matter how intro went, I would say, no matter how intro went, we can,
yeah,
you can save it with thousands.
Yeah, but regardless, Steve is a category all on its own because everybody loves Steve so much.
Steve%. Steve%. Steve has 10 locations all across the game. If you talk to him, if you talk to all of him, you complete Steve%. In the meantime, I completed Fluffy. And I'm on to the last section of the game. We got a mission called Big Bang. We alluded to it earlier. We got 6 minutes for it to deliver some dynamite. But we're gonna do a little bit of shopping in the meantime. I'm gonna quickly check my opals, but I think I was over 11k. Yeah, I'm almost at 13k, so I should be more than good to buy boomerangs that aren't necessary, but do make life a whole lot easier. And we got to buy the last bunip, which I wish we didn't have to. because that thing does suck.
Yeah, the I can't even remember what it's called. I don't even.
Lifter.
Lifter.
It's the Lifter Bunip.
Lifter bunyip. Yeah, that thing. It is probably the worst bunyip in the entire game, mainly because of how slow it goes, and it's actually one of the most used bunyips though.
Don't spoil the fun too much.
Yeah.
They're gonna see it.
Oh, they're gonna love seeing the bunyip,
But yeah, in the meantime, I bought the what I recall again, ranks, something ranks.
the ones that like bounce
Yeah.
off multiple enemies.
Yeah, the mega ranks, they bounce off of multiple enemies, as Scroll already said, and they also are homing.
Yes.
We can easily beat the game without them, but since we already have a lot of money and we're already there for shopping, we might as well go out of our way for like 3-4 seconds to make our lives easier and make a later split more consistent.
Yeah.
Because yes, we have to fight ninjas one more time.
So I lost a lot of time in Sulfur Rocks, but just now I'm entering Fluffy. If that gives you a little taste or a little like sight on how we are.
How far we are apart, yeah. And earlier we were discussing if what delivery mission was longer. Big Bang is definitely longer.
Big Bang's longer than food?
By a lot. It's more than 2 minutes, including the buying.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, because I forgot, that one you get immediately, or that one you get immediately right at Bushra 2 HQ, not like anywhere else in Burma. You just get that one immediately.
Yeah, it's about, I'd say 2.5 minutes. And right here, I'm driving very carefully because there are a lot of bumps in the way that can either spin us out, shoot us in a weird direction, or just decide to flip over our cars. So any bumps, trying to drive a little bit slowly.
So this is one of those sections here where I go on and play on keyboard and mouse. This is one of only 2 sections where I do. The first section being the intro, the second one being in this boss fight here. Keyboard and mouse in this boss fight here seems much easier to stay on the platforms than on controller. Just from my own, like, how the game feels for me and stuff. One important thing that we're doing is we're making sure that we actually get the cutscene before we decide to jump off, because if we get the little cutscene between the boss phases, then as we're falling, then we just fall right into the water and we lose a bunch of time. So it's very important to learn when you can like start moving towards the. I don't even know what I did there. I think I just like.
Did you fall into the water?
Nope. I just had no idea what just happened for a second.
Oh, yeah. Story of this game. I have no idea what just happened.
Yep. Story of speedrunning in general, actually.
There's a weird glitch in this game. We haven't seen it yet because it's not very useful. But if you grab onto certain ledges and try to climb up them, you fly forwards.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's a different strategy of doing the sewer skip at the beginning of the run, where you grab a little ledge and then you just basically fly up instead of having to jump on the tree like we did. That one is almost entirely RNG though, because I don't even know how you could control if Ty flies or not.
I think it's very specific angle where you have to grab.
Yeah.
I do know what you're talking about, and I have done it before on accident.
Yeah, I love doing that because there was one time where I actually got the boost and I was able to like get Ty's motor to keep going as he was supposed to be just regularly walking, so I managed to like get the boost all the way over
G'day,
to
son.
the area where we jump out of bounds, which that was pretty cool. But
Ooh, I missed it. I missed one of the jumps on the alien part. On the alien, not the with the lava, but with the water and the turning rocks.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just pain.
Hey, Ty.
It was the last one as well.
So yeah, like we were saying, opal counts in this game are very tight, but also very lenient. Because I, for one, have over 2,000 opals left after I did both of my purchases, and that even just makes things very like just goes to show how important it is to make sure you have enough opals in the beginning of the game, I guess.
Yeah. In the meantime, we saw aliens, and now we have dinosaurs. those dinosaurs, we are going to plunge back into extinction. Yeah, don't question this game. There are dinosaurs for some reason, there are aliens for some reason.
Yep. One thing about this game that often happens to me is I just forget where to go sometimes. Because each of the sections, you always start at Burramudgee, but then you always have to take different routes to get to the different missions. So there are times where
sometimes you forget whatever you're doing. You can buy the button, the wrong punip or something.
Yeah, this game is like split into different acts. Act 1 being the one before we fought Patchy, Act 2 being the one before Buster, Act 3 being the one before Fluffy, and then Act 4 being the
right
one
now.
before, yeah, the one that we're in now. This one, I believe that this one is the longest. This one for me takes, you know, like 20 minutes or so. But then again, like, Act 4 also includes the, like, 5 minute or so, like, boss rush and then final boss.
Yeah, and you just saw me grab a special colored cogwheel. I did that because I have time to kill. We need to wait, like, in the distance, you can see it right there. Dennis is running to where he wants to go. He wanted to be somewhere, but the dinosaurs were in his way. But we can defeat the dinosaurs faster than he can run. So coming up next, Dance Dance Revolution. Gotta make some music.
Do you have the egg colors memorized, or do you just...
I have the colors memorized, yes. It's... When I see them, I know it.
Yeah, I at this point I probably should take it and like just write down the color and just have it.
Red, yellow, green. Red, yellow, blue, green. I have a very good pattern as well. Pink, pink, green, yellow, and red. The colors are always the same, but the order of the eggs aren't.
I never noticed that the eggs sometimes have different layouts.
Yeah, the egg layout is random. But I had a really nice pattern, just mostly just right to left.
Yep.
And do you do the bird first or last?
I do the bird first.
Yeah, I do it last. Doesn't really matter, I think.
No.
You need to do it anyway.
So there are a few sections of this game, most notably for me, Sulphur Rocks and the Never Never, where I'm at now, where I just sometimes forget where to go. So there'll be times where you'll see me open the map or something, and then I'll see something in the distance and realize, oh, I need to be over there.
In the meantime, I'm finding ninjas again. And with the boomerangs we bought, it gets a whole lot easier.
Where am I?
This time we can actually kill them faster than they can spawn. Which normally is a little bit more tricky.
If you couldn't already tell, I do not run this game nearly as much as I should.
I started de-rusting 2 days ago. After de-rusting for the other marathon run. One more, where is it? Oh, it's stuck. Yeah, the last ninjas mission is a little bit scuffed because they can get stuck on the scenery.
Okay, I'm just gonna follow the signs and hope that takes me somewhere. That is one of the glorious parts of this game where you just, if you ever get lost, then just follow the signs and it'll bring you to where you recognize places. And so I'm at the eggs now. I think I might have a pretty good thing. So red, yellow.
I'm at the first lifter mission right now.
Oh, do you want to explain the lifter a bit?
I'm gonna explain the lifter as we go, because we've got a while to go. The lifter bunip, it's technically the strongest bunip, besides the shadow bunip, but that's another story. Because it can lift heavy things, but it's very, very slow, as you can see.
Yes.
Right now, we've got a truck that crashed, and its cargo spilled all over the place, and we need to get that cargo back where it belongs. But there are also enemies here. these very big, what are they called again? Mega frills.
I think so, yeah. They're basically just frills with a little bit of like
Steroids.
Yes.
And I'm gonna play it safe here and kill them before I pick this one up. I can leave that last one alive. Because we have to walk here anyway. We can take full hits of them before we die. So that's why I want to take it safe. Sometimes you can get lucky, just rush in, pick up that crate and rush out again. But that's if you like living on the edge. Besides all that, this mission is mainly just going in the straightest line as possible and throwing the containers from as far away as you can.
See, what I just did there was an example of a strange NPC thing to counter as leaving the mission. For what I just did, all you need to do is just go relatively near her and then start running away, and then that'll cue the mission ending.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about talking about that.
Yes.
I'm just so used to doing that.
Yeah, so I'm just entering the little dinosaur mission now, so I feel like good.
Yeah, I'm on my way to the last container on the first lifter.
Okay, so you're probably a good
Minute or two ahead, I'd say.
yeah. But still, for like
Depending
an
on,
race, this is really like more close than I thought it'd be. Like, too, for our PBs, like you have a 115 flat, I have a 117.21, I believe. Our PBs are very close, so like this.
I do have to say my PB is quite outdated.
So is mine. I haven't touched this game in years. Or not years, but a long time.
I haven't seriously ran this game in years. Sometimes I just wake up one day and think like, yeah, I'm gonna play do a few runs of Thai, but I won't record them or use a timer. This is again one of those pieces of roads where it's very bumpy and you can crash really easily. I've got this snaking route. And if you liked the first lifter mission, oh boy, you're gonna absolutely love the second, because it's coming right up after the first one. If you didn't like that one, same. But it's a necessary evil of this run. It's still it's still the fastest missions we can do in this order. But this time, another truck has crashed. It's stuck on top of a hill, somewhere up there. And we have to walk there. But this time there are no mega frills, they're just these normal lizard frills. But trying to pick up these rocks can be finicky, because their hitboxes are ass.
Basically everything about this game, and this entire series of games for that matter, is...
But boy, do I still love it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything bad, because I do love these games. And I wanna... I don't want to say anything bad in case Chrome's watching, but... You know, the games are still... They still hold up pretty well nowadays.
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, for me it's mainly nostalgia glasses, of course. Only truly bad thing I can say about this game is the Buster boss fight.
Yeah, Buster...
That's about
Buster
twice as long as it should be.
Yeah. Or at the very least, they should have given a different way to defeat Buster, like, if you wanted to, let's say, get the kaboomerangs, and then if you were to hit him with the kaboomerangs, then all his little robots would, like, dissipate, and then you'd actually be able to hit him again, then it's something...
I would be happy with half the amount of health.
Yeah.
But that's a story for a whole different time. I'm going close to the very last mission. We talked about it earlier, where we have a helicopter and have to put out a forest fire. So slowly make myself up to Greenwood Forest. Yes, all these places have names.
A lot of these locations of the game actually are just, like, I guess from one-liners to Taiwan. Like, for example, Fair Dinkum, which is the location with the buttons that we had to go and do something with, I can't remember.
The tourist trap.
The tourist trap, yes. Fair Dinkum just seems like a one-liner from the first game, but it actually ends up being used as a location in the second game, which is pretty nifty. My first time, like, playing this game, I was like, well, this seems relatively familiar. I don't know why, I never heard of this before, but I've never seen this part of the game before, but...
In the meantime, a short explanation about what I'm doing. Dipping the container hanging below the helicopter into the water to fill it up with water. I'm doing this relatively slowly by the looks of it, but I need to be sure water is in there because it doesn't always register properly. And I'm trying to not touch the water with the helicopter itself. Because if I touch the water with the helicopter, I lose pretty much all my speed. And then again, trying to go as fast as possible, as straight as possible. You mainly saw me turn around. Right, I need to pause the game. We go exit level, back to Buramaji. And now we're back here, back at the main headquarters. Which gets attacked by Mega Frills. We don't have the boomerangs to beat them, but we don't need them. We can use these exploding things. And that was a pretty quick one. So we talked to Duke, which has been our pilot for the entire game. Our pilot is a Kiwi, which is funny because Kiwis are flightless birds. But now you see the Shadow Bunip, the most powerful Bunip in the game. It can double jump, it can hover, it can shoot lasers, it can shoot a really big laser if you charge it up. And that's about it about the Shadow Bunip. Besides that, this level is the final level of this run. And of the entire game, actually. But first, of course, every final level in these old games has a boss rush. Hello, Patchy. Patchy takes 3 hits.
So does Buster, I believe, right? Doesn't Buster only take 3 hits as well?
No, Buster takes 2, Patchy takes 4, actually.
Oh.
Buster, there he did one of his attacks that we don't want to see. There's a big attack. Spreads out all out again, has to go get back up. And let me see if I can get the walking manip here. So you can get close to him. Yeah, there we go. And we just walk him. Wait until he screams. Punch him. And now we wait again.
I think I might actually beat your PB because my timer is...
Yeah, I'm 11 seconds ahead, but I'm not satisfied with this run.
Yeah,
because I started out 17 seconds behind.
Yeah, this run, I'm gonna forget about this, like, run. Not the marathon. I'm gonna forget about me performing this run here, though. Just because of how poorly I've demonstrated this run.
Alright.
Oh,
the Buster rematch is done, as long as Buster should have been. 2 hits.
Was he 3 hits?
Now we see... it's 2 hits, yes.
Okay.
We see all these enemies right now that are all throughout the game that we haven't seen yet. Like these mecha bear things, I believe.
I don't know.
I have no idea actually what they are.
There's many things in this game where nobody has any idea what they are.
As I'm mainly holding forwards and scratch my face. At this part, where I'm right now, you would think, oh, I need to go towards the enemies. The enemies are towards the left. I should follow the enemies. No. It's towards the right here. Completely illogical, but why not?
So I just got the first lift the bunny up mission, so I probably have about a good another 10 minutes left of my run.
I'm almost at the final boss fight. I'm jumping down the hole as we speak.
Ah, yep.
Let's see if we can get a fast gas. Alright. Gas is set up in multiple phases. First phase is the most annoying because he flies around and he's difficult to hit. So we try to get like right in front of him and then shoot lasers. Like that. But at least a little bit faster. While these Buster lookalike robots, Buster 2.0 I think, try to chase us. And we didn't get caught by him. So now we got phase 2, where he has a suit made out of those little robots. If I remember the cutscene correctly. which is the longest phase because we need to trigger his attacks and then wait for him to slam like that and then punch him. The first couple of punches never connect properly. Yeah, I'm gonna be trying to not get hit here, because if we get hit, we can get knocked back really far, and if we're have poor positioning, we land on the platform down below. There's a platform down there. I don't know if you can see it, but that's that's a safety net. There's some health down there. If your boss fight goes really poorly, you can jump down. All right, third phase. He throws rocks at us. Well, after he throws rocks, we can shoot him. And we do this a couple of more times. So whoever's on time, slowly start to get ready on time, because after the fourth phase, it's over. And the fourth phase is really quickly. Time. A 1:15:01.
That's not bad at all.
No, that's not bad at all.
Good job, Everyday Speedrunner.
Thank
But
you.
let's continue to cheer on korlkiller as they continue finishing up their part of the run.
Yeah, let me go back to the main menu. Yeah, we got a little cutscene like, oh yeah, you haven't done all the missions yet, more people need saving, yada yada yada. Let me throw up that stream as well, and let's see how you are doing.
I'm just currently in the beginning of the final fire mission, so it's still just going relatively smoothly. I'm still going to beat estimate by quite a few minutes, but this run as a whole I'm quite upset with, just by how I performed in it, but I'm still really happy that I was able to come
Well, you can't win them all.
It has been a fantastic run, and you know, it's also been in support of a wonderful charity.
It definitely has been a wonderful marathon, and once again I'm very glad I got to close it off together with Coral over here, who is finishing up this game as fast as he can.
Can we get some donations hyping up korlkiller as they finish their run? Doing a fantastic job. He's had some unfortunate little misses there, but let's keep cheering him on. He can do it.
Thank you.
Yes, you can definitely do it. I'm cheering you on as we speak as well.
And yeah, when time is called for korlkiller, that is the end of donations going in. So if you want to donate, this is your last few minutes. Your last few minutes to get on our prizes.
A last few minutes to maybe hit that goal.
Yes, we are $18 away from our goal of $1,150.
I unfortunately missed that one mega frill there, but everything besides that was relatively decent this last part here, so. This game is so funny with its animation sometimes, but there just got hit as I was jumping and it caused a little bump animation to straight up in the air. Just times like this were pretty funny.
Alright. You taking into account the delay, you should be right about the boss rush, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I'm starting the first phase of Happy.
Alright, let's see how he does it. I'm your commentator right now.
Alright, perfect.
I'm a few seconds behind, so Patchy. First hit very quickly, very easily. You got a nice second hit as well. Spamming out the lasers for the third and fourth hits. You can't hit Patchy when he is moving, so we have to wait until he turns and does an action. So, put Patchy down. Buster. Ooh, you're going for the attack option and let him attack twice. risky for the final mission. I like it.
Try to go out with a bang, I suppose. So I literally have a single sliver of health left. I do believe that I get a health refill before the final boss.
Yes, you do.
Alright. Even so, like, a quarter health is not terrible. I mean, like, obviously it could be a lot better, but I feel like a quarter health is...
A quarter is gotta get pretty close. I think that's like 2 hits at most.
I'm like at an 8th health, I mean. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's like 1 hit from the final boss.
yeah, it's doable, but probably not very fast, because you'll be spending most of your time just avoiding attacks and stuff like that if you were to do a no-hit final boss.
Yeah, if you for some reason don't get a health refill, I think it might even be worth it for you to just jump down and grab some health.
Yeah.
Just for that extra safety net.
Yeah, because that'd probably be quicker than just dying and then having to redo a couple hits. But who knows? If I don't get a thing, I might go ahead and try to do a no-hit final boss, like relatively quickly.
I do believe you are more than able to do a good final boss.
Going on at about a minute or an hour, 20 minutes, and 30 seconds. Okay, we do get a health refill. I got hit by the busters.
All right, let's see. Good first hit. Oh, you took a hit there. All right. Yeah, this first phase of boss gas is annoying. Now you're still getting those high jumps in there. For some reason my game always slightly glitches out at that point and my Shadow Bunip is barely able to jump.
Yeah, I just got that thing too. I'm getting like very small jumps here. I think it might be because I'm locking on or something. Or it could be... Oh, there we go.
Could be a difference of graphics cards, could be literally everything in this game. Might even be like the weather outside or the face of the moon at this point.
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame it on my cat if she had to do anything about it.
That was just me not looking where I was going. I just ran into one of the lava pillars.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. We'll probably lost me with about 20 seconds of it. It's definitely not the worst thing that I've done this run.
Luckily for this fight, you do get a relatively quick respawn and you get right back into the fights. I don't even think you have to.
In about 2 seconds here, and that is time.
GG. What? I'm waiting for the stream to catch up.
It's over, Cass.
Yeah, I forgot how quickly the final phase is. I didn't realize
You
it was
heard the man.
just.
Yeah, that's like 3 hits, but he just walks over the ground.
Yeah.
All right. 122.21 RTA.
Yeah, I did about.
GG.
It should be like a what? 122 flat, I would say.
I think so. But like, yeah, I got a 122.20 on my splits, but that just could be a difference in timing and ending and stuff. But either way, that was Tyler Tasmanian Tiger 2.
Thank you all very much for watching and for donating to a beautiful cast. We have one more thing before this marathon ends. We have one more closing ceremony. So I'd love all of you to stick around and watch that. I know I sure will. And yeah, this was Tyler Tasmanian Tiger 2. Thank you, Coral, for being there with me and doing this amazing race.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's. Do you want to shout anyone out?
Yeah, huge shout outs to the Thai community in general. Everybody there is an amazing person. We all love this game. We're looking for new runners every single day.
And if I do remember correctly, there's a bounty going on for Tai 2 specifically.
Yes. For the Game Boy Advance versions of Tai 2 and Tai 3, there is a $25 bounty to whoever has the any % world record in either of them on October 31st. So, like, I'm going to plug my Twitch here. If you want to see me doing attempts on Tai 2 or Tai 3 GBA in the coming weeks, then, feel free to follow me there. if you're interested. But with that, that's all I've got. You have anything?
And I'm your everyday speedrunner. You can find me at twitch.tv/YourEverydaySpeedrunner. I don't stream nearly as much as I should, but I'll try to do better next time.
Yep.
And with that, thanks everyone so much for watching, and let's kick it off to the closing ceremony.
Yes. Have a good one, guys.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the closing ceremony. Unfortunately, it's just me. Everyone has gone to bed because it's late. But yeah, welcome. Hope everyone enjoyed the marathon. It's been a cool 36 hours of very good indie speedruns, so I do have a couple things to say at the end here. A couple of notes. So first off, I'd like to show off our official donation total. So for this event, we raised $1,131 with 72 cents tacked on top of that with 50 donations. So thank you so much to all our donors who have raised all this money for Caldwell Children. I'd like to give a shout out to our charity sponsor, Caldwell Children, as I just mentioned, and our contact giver, Steffi, who provided a lot of information for us about the charity and helped us get this all set up for you guys. As well, we have some other shout outs that I want to point out. I'd like to thank all our runners, our volunteers, and our staff for helping making this event happen. I know we had some issues in the weeks coming up to the event, but we managed to sort as many of those out as possible, and we're able to have this event even with the lack of staff that we were having. But I also want to give a big shout out to Panda, even though they were not able to help out with this event on the day of. They did do a lot of stuff beforehand. For example, they helped coordinate with the charity and get all the information we need, as well as voting on runs and advertising our event. So a big shout out to Panda, and we wish you the best, and we hope you'll come back to us soon. As well, we also have our supporters who helped fund this event. They didn't really give us money directly, but they helped provide the prizes. So we have Team 17 and our contact Jonathan. They provided all the prizes for Indiethon. So we'd like to thank you so much. And we also have OK Joy, which is the publishers of Hack, and my contact there, Haito. So thank you so much for helping and supporting indie games and Indiethon in general. Yeah, after that, I do have some quick announcements for our marathon coming in the future. They're not really anything big. I'll expand more on them later down the road. But we did acquire the Indiethon.com domain, and in the coming weeks, we're going to transition all our stuff from our current domain, Indiethon.live, over to Indiethon.com. We'll post some more information about that shortly. As well, I'd also like to announce that we are opening staff applications. Unfortunately, we have been short-staffed for like the last 2 marathons, so we do need more people on staff. If you'd like to help out more with the event when we're not doing something, for example, prepping for the next event or maybe doing some bonus streams here and then, we'll have some staff applications open. And of course, I'll post some more information on that at a later date. Yeah, and the big announcement everyone's probably waiting for is the dates for the next event. So I'll put those on screen. So the dates are going to be March 11th through 13th, 2023. If you are not in the US, that is spring break. So hopefully more people will be available. We'll get some more runners. And of course, stay tuned for more details. We'll post some more information and a call for submissions in the next coming weeks. So yeah, once again, we'd like to thank everyone for participating, watching this event. We had a very successful year with our first 3 events, and we hope to continue that in the near future with some more events coming your way. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I wish I had someone else with me to bounce ideas off, but everyone's tired. Everyone's went to bed. So yeah, that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you all again for watching and supporting Indiethon, and I'll see you next time. We are going to be rating someone, by the way. I think Ice is still live. He was one of our volunteers, so we'd like to thank him for volunteering for tech to help everything run smoothly. So we're going to rate him real quick. But yeah, also one quick thing. If you have any feedback, we're going to have a feedback form, feedback.indiethon.live. We are looking to move into in-person events. So if you'd like to provide some feedback on that, we'll have that feedback form available. So yeah. So in a couple seconds here, we're going to launch a raid on Ice. So yeah. Have a good night, everyone. Have a good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And we'll see you next time at Indiethon. Goodbye for now.